This is an ancient Vietnamese folk tale that's been passed down through generations, and this evening, I'm excited to share it with you. But before we begin, I wanted to thank you for joining me on this storytelling journey. It means a lot to me that you're here. So let's jump right into the story. Long ago, there was a poor couple who lived in a small village. They were childless and unhappy. They had been married for years, but the wife was starting to get tired of her husband's disrespect. "I wish I never married you," she said. "You are useless. You don't bring any food home. How can we make a living?" Her husband got angry. "What did you say? Are you accusing me? I am working hard to earn money to support both of us. Don't forget, I have to work as a hired laborer, while you just sit around the house doing nothing." They argued and fought constantly. Finally, the wife couldn't take it anymore. She was tired of being treated like a worthless servant. So one day when her husband wasn't home, she packed a few belongings, took some rice paper she had made earlier, and left the house without saying goodbye. Meanwhile, her husband returned home from work late that night, and when he found that she had left, he began to panic. Where could she have gone? Was she ever coming back? What if she went to live with another man? His thoughts raced, and suddenly he started shouting and cursing at her, wishing that she would come back. He didn't care where she went or what she did. All that mattered was that she was his wife, and he didn't want to lose her. The next morning, he set out to look for her. He walked from village to village, calling her name and asking everyone if they had seen her. But no one knew where she had gone. Days turned into weeks, and still there was no sign of his wife. He was desperate. He had no choice but to return home empty-handed and defeated. When he opened the door, his mother was waiting inside. "Have you brought her back?" she asked. "No," he replied sadly. "She's gone. I can't find her anywhere. How could you let this happen?" His mother scolded him. "You should have treated her better. Now your fault is great, and the consequences will be even worse. She has run away, and we won't know where she is or what has become of her." He understood that his mother was right. He had been a fool to lose his wife. All he could do now was try harder to find her, and so he continued his search, traveling far and wide. As he journeyed, he grew weaker and thinner from hunger and exhaustion. Eventually, he had no more money or strength. He could go any further. He collapsed onto the ground next to the road, too weak to move or call out for help. As he lay there dying, he felt like the whole world was against him. He hated his life. At this point, he just wanted someone to end his misery. But luckily, a kind woman passing by saw him lying there. She stopped to see if he was all right. When she learned that he was sick and starving, she took him off the road, brought him home, and took care of him. For several days, she gave him food and water, then laid him down on a mat and covered him with blankets to keep him warm. Soon, he was well enough to sit up and talk. The woman asked him why he had been wandering around like that. He told her everything that had happened, how he had lost his wife and how he couldn't find her anywhere. When he finished speaking, the woman said, "Don't worry, I think I know where she is. My husband lives high up in the mountains. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Maybe he might be able to help you." She took him to her husband and explained everything that had happened. The mountain man listened patiently, and when he heard their sad story, he patted his shoulder and said, "I understand what you are going through, because I am also looking for my wife. She left home to visit her parents and hasn't come back yet. You can stay with me. We will leave tomorrow and look for our wives together." They spent the night talking and drinking together and laughing and playing games. Then, early the next morning, the mountain man and the old man set out to find their wives. They walked along the path for hours, crossing rivers, climbing mountains, and walking through forests. Along the way, they met many people, but none of them had seen either of the women. They were both worried, but they kept going. Finally, they arrived at a clearing. There in front of them stood a tall, beautiful woman. She looked back and forth between the two men, trying to figure out which one was her husband. The mountain man was shorter and older, but the other man was much taller and stronger. She couldn't remember what her husband looked like, so she called out to both of them, "Are you my husband? Is it you, or is it you?" The mountain man replied, "I am your husband. I am the one who loves you dearly." But the old man said, "No, I am your true love. Only I am worthy of your affection." The woman thought for a moment, then suddenly realized that she had forgotten about both of them. She hadn't seen either of them in such a long time that she couldn't recognize them. She was torn between the two, not knowing who to choose. The mountain man became impatient and shouted, "Why are you hesitating? Which one is your real husband? Quickly choose, or I will lose interest in you." The woman was frightened by his tone and immediately answered, "You are my husband. I am sorry I took so long to remember." She ran into his arms and hugged him tightly. Then, turning to the other man, she said, "You are such a good friend. Thank you for helping me find my husband." But the old man couldn't control his jealousy any longer. "Don't be ridiculous," he shouted. "You chose the wrong man. I am your real husband." The mountain man became furious. "I am sick of your lies," he yelled. "I will punish you and teach you a lesson you will never forget." He pulled out a dagger and stabbed the old man several times. The old man screamed in pain and fell to the ground. The woman watched in horror as her lover died right in front of her eyes. Overcome with grief and remorse, she ran to his body, cradled his head in her lap, and wept uncontrollably. At that moment, she realized that she had made a terrible mistake. She shouldn't have listened to the mountain man or trusted him. She loved the old man with all her heart, and now he was gone because of her fault. She wished she could turn back time and do things differently, but it was too late. The damage was done. Seeing that she had hurt him so badly, the mountain man felt sorry for her. He tried to comfort her and tell her that it was not her fault. But she wouldn't listen. She cried and begged for forgiveness, saying that she was responsible for the old man's death. The mountain man sighed and shook his head. "It's okay," he said softly. I know you didn't mean to hurt me, but now I must go. I hope you find peace and happiness again someday." With that, he disappeared into the forest. She sat there crying for hours until the sun began to set. Then slowly she got up, picked up the old man's body, and carried it home. When she arrived, she laid him down on her bed, closed his eyes, and whispered, "I will always love you." Suddenly, the room began to shake, and she felt something strange happening around her. Startled, she looked up and saw that the ceiling was opening up. A bright light shone down, and she heard voices saying, "We are the gods. We have come to take you and your husband to heaven with us." Overwhelmed with joy, she embraced the old man one last time and stepped into the light. And that is the end of today's story. If you enjoyed the stories, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Your support means everything to me. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on new and exciting adventures. Thank you once again for joining me on this storytelling journey. Until next time, happy dreaming.